Hello peoples, I am cmasupra and welcome to a War Thunder simulator battle in the German Me262A1A. This was my first simulator battle in this plane, and it was actually a pretty good one. I managed to get 3 kills this game. It was 2 AIs and 1 player, which really doesn't sound like much, but the first AI kill and the player kill were both really sweet deflection shots, and I got in some fighting against the player before I eventually killed him. So I can kind of show off this plane. It was defensive flying and offensive flying, kinda sorta at the same time. So, like I said, this was my first game, first simulator battle in this jet, but it was not my first game in general in this jet, because I have flown this jet 6 times in realistic battles, and all 6 times have gone absolutely horribly because this thing is super over-tiered, and in realistic battles you often see high-tier jets, and with the battle rating of 7.7 for this thing, in realistic battles it often, otherwise known as always, sees Sabres and MiG-15s, jets that it really doesn't have much of a chance against at all. But in simulator battles, at least, it actually seems to do pretty well, at least from the opponents that I have seen so far in the 2 games that I've played in this thing in simulator battles. I have not been shot down either time, so there's that going to its credit. So here you can see that I've already spotted myself an enemy, and this is actually a Yak 9P, and it's Henry, and he critted a Dornier 217 a little bit earlier. It was AI versus AI, and so I'm just going for this guy. This is my first game in this jet, like I said. I figured I'd go for an AI, learn this jet, see how it feels. I can say, as a quick summary of this jet, the way it flies, the way it feels, it feels fluffy to fly. I'll explain more once I take this shot at the AI. He's going vertical, I pull in front and aim, and I actually chop off his wing, which I thought was a pretty impressive shot, so bye-bye, Henry. You are now going to fall to the ground and die, because you're missing a wing. But as I was saying, this plane is kind of fluffy feeling. I don't really know how to describe it. It's not like sensitive or anything, it's just fluffy. If you make any control input, the input will basically kind of stay there for a little while before it dies off residually, if that makes any sense. So anyways, I've now killed Henry with the nice, sweet vertical deflection shot that I'm actually quite proud of, because it was my first kill in SB in this jet. And now I've actually spotted myself another plane. This was cut forward a little bit in the video because I didn't find anyone for a while. But I found myself an enemy bomber. This is definitely AI, and once I have killed it by chopping off its wing, I actually find out it was the enemy spotter plane. So that's interesting. That explains why it was going so fast, because normally AI bombers do not go that fast, even in PE2s. But that was the enemy spotter plane, and it is now dead for my second kill this game. And now we go into the clip for my third kill this game, which remember is a player. So what I'm doing here is I'm just diving down. My teammate was asking for help here, and I'm trying to look for the enemies, like where are they? I'm trying to spot them against the sky. I do see some dots in front of me, and then I zoom in, as you saw, and it actually turns out that one of the dots I see is a vampire. So that jet sucks in realistic battles. It's actually pretty decent in simulator. There are so many planes like that, the Me262 being one of them. Sucks in realistic is actually pretty decent in simulator. I don't know what other planes might be an example of that. Tempest Mark V, I guess, is an example of it as well. It sucks in realistic, but it's actually pretty good in simulator. So yeah, it's an Me262 on a vampire right now, which is not that bad of a jet in simulator. I am above him, and I am faster than him, and I think he's fully aware of my presence, but he is chasing an AI, which makes him kind of an easy shot for me if I can just get behind him. As I am getting behind him here, though, you might have noticed that there's actually a Meteor F here as well, and you know what would be really nice is to kill the Meteor F3, because I feel like it's more of a threat than the Vampire, even though it's actually not in this game. I just did not realize it at the time. So I fired at the Meteor F3 as you saw, and I got hits. I fire again here, and do I get any hits? Yes, I do get hits, because the bottom RP counter went up to 21 from 14. The Meteor goes kind of into the ground there, and I'm not about to follow him at all. I would have crashed if I did. Instead I flip over and see him on my right, and I'm going to pull towards him here, but this is actually going to go pretty bad for me. He turns tighter than I do, and he's almost able to get shots. I am very lucky that I just happened to be under him, which was really lucky. And now I'm going to try and shoot him here. Oh, this is going to be a tough shot. I fire in front of him. I crit him, I flip over, and oh my gosh, do not crash into the ground. Do not. Okay, good. That was actually really close. That was a tough shot to make. I wanted to make the shot because I didn't know if I was going to get another chance to shoot at this meteor. It seemed like the meteor outturned me, and so I wanted to make sure I killed him as soon as I possibly could. So that was a very tough shot, but I actually managed to make it, and then I avoided going into the ground, even though I was facing pretty much straight towards the ground when I shot at him. So the meteor is now dead for my third kill this game, and that was the player kill. And now I see a vampire in front of me. It's the same vampire from earlier. I just killed the Meteor F before I killed the vampire, and I'm trying to get on the vampire's tail in hopes of killing him. We'll have to see how that goes. Looks like he's going to outturn me here. He's going to have shots, so what I do is I flatten out pretty soon here. There we go, and I push down, and he misses, thank goodness, because I did not continue my turn. If I had continued my turn, I probably would have died right there. So now the vampire is behind me, and I actually lost him. You may have noticed that he was going across to the right of the screen, and he went off screen there for a second, and I'm pretty sure he's the black dot against the ground, moving to the left now, but I thought that was a prop plane, and I didn't notice the vampire going to the right off the screen when he was doing that earlier. So I actually lost the vampire here. I cannot see the black dot against the ground anymore, the supposed prop plane that's actually the vampire. So I've lost the vampire at this point, and that was the end of that. That was kind of a sad ending to the game, but at least I got 3 kills this game, and 2 of them were sweet deflection shots, especially the one against the player. I'm quite proud of that one, because even though I could see the player in my deflection shot, it was facing towards the ground, and I barely pulled out of that alive. So I'm quite proud of that one. So like I said, that was the 3rd kill that I got this game, and I lost the vampire. Don't really know where he went, so that was the end of the game for me. So let's go ahead and go on to the ending score screen for this game. And here we are. There's really not much to show for this game. As you can see, I got 3 plane kills that game, which was 2 AIs and 1 player. A total of 55,000 lions, 4,000 RP, a whole bunch of rewards, one of which was Mission Maker, so I got First Strike and Last Strike, which is always awesome to see, even if it's only like a 250 lion reward, which is practically nothing. So yeah, that's about it. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you all have enjoyed watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye guys.